Let us pray. Loving God, we thank you for this beautiful day and for the precious gift of life and joy, patience and accomplishment. It's taken a long time for this class to reach this moment. In this hour, may they be allowed to be still and know genuine joy. Family and friends have come a long way to be a part of this celebration. And the faculty behind me has worked tirelessly as teachers and now as colleagues. May all gathered here today continue to be richly blessed, and may the class of 2013 never forget from whence they have come. May they keep a clear eye on the horizons to which they travel. Embrace them in this hour with your strength, even as they love and hug and celebrate one another. May they wear these new mantles well and with healthy pride, and assist them to serve humankind with ever-increasing joy and wonder. Amen.
Welcome to the Georgia Regents University Medical College of Georgia Class of 2013 Hooding Ceremony. I'm Kathleen Mackey, and I serve as the Associate Dean for Student Affairs. I've had the tremendous pleasure of knowing and working with the members of the Class of 2013 for the past 4 years. They are an exemplary group of young people, of men and women, each talented in varied ways, musically, artistically, and athletically. All share, though, a common value. These men and women have chosen to serve others through the profession, the calling, the art of medicine. We are here today to hood them in the academic regalia that signify the degree of Doctor of Medicine. The faculty and administration of the Medical College of Georgia share in your great joy at their achievement. I will briefly introduce those participating in the ceremony today. Dr. Gretchen Kaufman is the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost of Georgia Regents University. The Reverend Erwin Veal from the Department of Pastoral Counseling for Georgia Regents Health System and serving at the Children's Hospital of Georgia will open our ceremony with the invocation, which he did. Thank you, Reverend. Dr. Peter Buckley, Dean of the Georgia Regents University Medical College of Georgia, will offer his welcome and reflections on the class of 2013. He will also close our ceremony. Ronnie Ziden has served most capably as the president of the class of 2013. Dr. Paul M. Wallach is the Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, and he, along with Dr. Buckley, will do the presentation of awards. Dr. Wallach will also lead the class in the Hippocratic Oath. The class of 2013 boasts many fine musicians and talented performers in each of the arts. We've enjoyed them these past 4 years. Today, we're delighted to have Nadia Nadavi performing original spoken word for the class of 2013. She will be accompanied by Peter Chung of the class on cello, performing Time of Your Life by Green Day. Dr. Buckley then has the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Dr. Otis W. Brawley, Chief Medical and Scientific Officer and Executive Vice President of the American Cancer Society. Lois T. Ellison, Provost Emeritus and the Medical College of Georgia Historian in Residence, will present the history of the hooding tradition. Dr. Ellison is a 1950 graduate of the Medical College of Georgia and is held in the highest esteem by classes of medical students for many years past and many in the future. I have the pleasure of serving as a faculty advisor for the class of 2013, and I will present the class for hooding at the right time. The students will have their hoods placed by faculty members selected by the class to honor their commitment to and relationship with the students. The hooding faculty are Doctors Andy Albritton, Retta Basali, Shilpa Brown, John Fisher, Greer Falls, David Freeman, Malika Ganapathy, Vadava Ganapathy, Mark Hamrick, Robin Hatley, Daryl Jordan, Lisa Leggio, myself, Nancy McNair, Lee Merchant, Walter Moore, Carol Nichols, John Odom, Walter Pipkin, Dale Sickles, Vanessa Spearman. Dr. Sam Richwine, MCG Class of 1977 and President of the Alumni Association of the Medical College of Georgia, will formally welcome and induct the class members into the Medical College of Georgia Alumni Association. A sincere thank you to the Reverend Veal, who will close the service, after which the faculty will process out, followed by the students. You may remain seated for the recessional as well. I would like to acknowledge at this point Mr. Andrew Reed, who is performing the music for our program. We appreciate the officers of the classes of 2015 and 2016 who are serving as honorary marshals. A very special thank you goes to Donna Bryan, Linda Kimberly, and Elise Vega, and a host of other participants for their efforts in making this event a success. Thank you for coming today, and thank you for entrusting your loved ones to Georgia Regents University Medical College of Georgia for their medical education. We look forward to meeting you at the reception following on the grounds of the Old Medical College of Georgia. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Now, there are a lot of people in this room. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Excellent. Class of 2013, before you sit down and listen to me for the next 3.5 hours, I would like you to turn around. All of you, I'd like you to turn around. I'd like you to face your loved ones, your friends, your families, and I would like you to thank them because they have been a terrific resource to you for the last 4 years. Thank you so much. So please take your seats, class of 2013. I have 9 points to tell you, and yeah, there will be a quiz at the end of this. So I'd like to impart to you 9 points of advice. And the first is very simply this: you should savor this moment. You have worked so incredibly hard, both each and every one of you, but more than that, collectively as a group. You have worked so hard for this day and for tomorrow when you will formally graduate as a doctor. It's just a remarkable achievement. And you need to take the time, you need to celebrate this with your family and with your loved one. And know that you've achieved so much, but you're also ready, standing on the threshold to continue to be high achievers. And we, all of us, all our exemplary faculty, our staff, our residents, and your fellow students that will come behind you, we are all extremely proud of you. But we also recognize that while you are tomorrow graduating as doctors, the second point of advice is you need to learn your craft. Because you are graduating as doctors, but you will be moving into positions as residents in training across the country. You will be specializing in your areas of dedication for the rest of your career, and you will begin again the mantle of being learners and being trainees. And you must do that. You must listen to your teachers. You must progress to that next stage. And you are embarking on what you've already been taught. You are embarking on the next stage of a process of lifelong learning. And shortly you will be mesmerized by the remarks of our incredibly distinguished guest speaker today, Dr. Otis Brawley, and he too continues to learn. Isn't that correct, Dr. Brawley? All of us are learning our craft and our trade, and so don't ever forget or feel that you have mastered either the science or the art of medicine. And as you learn, remember that your patients are actually your best teachers. And so as you consider that, as you learn to ask the right technical skills, which our colleagues, our faculty have focused on for the last 4 years with you, do more than that. Ask about your patients' personal experiences. Learn about their lives. Learn about the impact of their illness on their lives, their families, and their communities. And remember and carry those experiences forward with you, because they will shape how you deliver care to others along the way. The next point of advice I would have for you is to cherish the experiences that you have with patients. Sometimes, and it is incredibly gratifying, sometimes you will receive a note, you will receive family members that will tell you that you were the doctor that they always wanted to have looked after their loved one, that you were special, that you went above and beyond the call of duty. Remember that. Even write it down, or if you get a letter, keep it in a personal file. These are cherished events, and they also steel you for the future, because all of us make mistakes, and we know that not everything in the care of people goes well and goes right and has a best outcome. And so you will, with loved ones, with patients, and with their families, you will experience failures, and it is very painful. And so it is good in those times to be able to reflect back on times when exemplary care and exemplary outcomes occurred. So cherish those experiences. And remember, as you now come forward as doctors, you have the competency. Tomorrow, you will be finally certified as doctors that you are competent. But medicine is much, much more than that, and I really encourage you to always go the extra mile. The people that you will care for will not judge you on your competency. That's already been proven, and it will be taken for granted. They will judge you on your customer service. They will judge you on your kindness. They will judge you on your compassion. And so remember that. Remember, did you follow through? Did you, at the end of a busy day, take the time to return a call from a family member? Because it's very important to them, and it may be the end of a very busy day for you, but it will make a difference. Did you take the time to explain, and did you explain in ways that you would like somebody to explain to you if you weren't technically skilled in medicine? That's kindness, that's empathy, that's compassion. And those are the attributes that our colleagues and our faculty and our colleagues in our hospital have tried to instill on you, but you must continue to blend them in and go the extra mile. You must also remember in life that everybody is a doctor. And by that I mean you all are entering a very cherished position in society. Society holds you as a doctor in a very different place. Do not get haughty by that. Do not get dizzy, and do not get arrogant. You are just as good and no better than any of the rest of us. And you will lead teams, and you cannot lead teams if you do not value and treat everybody as equal. And medicine is not an individual, it is a team sport. So please treat everybody as you would wish both yourself to be treated, and hold everybody in high respect and in regard. In the same vein, remember professionalism. It's a really easy word to say, but it is difficult to remain professional, and you will be challenged. And as you sit here as the class of 2013, where each of you have helped each other move forward, try to be a professional that your classmates would always be proud of. Let that be your compass as you go forward. I mentioned that society holds you in high place. They do, and society also expects you to show up for life. You make such a difference when you are present, when you are visible, when you are engaged, and when you are committed. And you, each and every one of you, are community leaders. And so show up and be engaged in your community, and join and help and do more of what actually society and your communities will automatically expect of you to be doctors. Remember your alma mater. Those of you that have traveled in for today may not remember or know that the last couple of days have been dizzy days for all of us at the Medical College of Georgia, at Georgia Regents University. About 10 days ago, we had the remarkable experience of an alumnus of the class of 1948, Dr. Harold J. Harrison, who simply loved his alma mater, gave $66 million in support of you as medical students and in support of our faculty as endowed chairs. And so Dr. Harrison loved his alma mater, And then last weekend we had a remarkable experience. We were joined by Dr. James Hutchinson of the class of 1991, an alumnus who in his own right is a wonderful colleague who came in for our weekend, but he was celebrating his grandmother, Dr. Lelia Denmark, of the class of 1928, who practiced until she was 103 and finally passed away at 114 as the fourth oldest person on this planet. Imagine the good that she did. And so we are very proud of all of them, and as we reflect on some of the tragedies that have happened throughout our country recently, we at the Medical College of Georgia were extremely proud of Dr. Alan Panter of class of 1981, who, yes, was there as a first responder at the Boston Marathon. And so you too will do great things, and we will watch you on your way, and we will look out for you, and we will take joy in the great things that you do as well. And you will hear shortly from Dr. Richwine as president of our Alumnus Association. You're not only joining the great profession of medicine, you are automatically alumni members of the Medical College of Georgia Alumni Association, and we are very proud to have you with us. We want you to come back, we want you to stay in contact, and we are remarkably proud of each and every one of you. It's now my distinct pleasure on behalf to bring greetings on behalf of Georgia Regents University. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Gretchen Kaufman. Dr. Kaufman.
Thank you, Peter, and good afternoon. The good news is, for you graduates, I don't have 9 points, but I do have a couple. First of all, though, I just have to say, and I am supposed to officially provide welcome on behalf of the university, I'm so happy to do that. We are so proud of this flagship college, the bedrock, the roots of this wonderful university. Could not be happier than to be here with you today to celebrate this joyous occasion. So thank you all for being here. I also have to observe that as I look out over this distinguished group, the last time I saw you all assembled together was at match day. And you looked a little different. And you sounded a little louder. And I know that all that joy is within you, all that exuberance. It was a wonderful, riotous spectacle. And I was happy to be part of that for a little while, to this day, to the complete end. This is a different kind of day, a different kind of spectacle, more formal in nature. But it too, as Reverend Veal noted, should be a still moment of great joy. So what I really would like you to ask that you approach this day and tomorrow with is really 2 things. There will be many, many emotions, and I wouldn't presume to tell you all to feel. But I would say that you should think of this with pride and with gratitude. I know I'm so proud of you, and you should be as well, as your family, as your loved ones are, because this is a momentous thing you've accomplished. You really, truly are what most people believe is at the pinnacle of the educational and academic realm. And you will be the leaders for tomorrow. So be proud. You also should be hold within your heart a deep gratitude. It's very easy to get bogged down in what's wrong with everything, the different things that frustrate you, or the situation that we all are in, and to see that glass is half empty. But I think we all need to take a moment and recognize how immeasurably lucky we are that we are where we are today and doing what we do. And that you have had opportunities that you work hard for, very hard, don't mistake me. But you had opportunities so many people on this planet will never have. Because there are places in this world where young women are forbidden even the most fundamental education. And there are areas of conflict where young boys are forced to carry automatic weapons and use them rather than books and book bags. So we are all very, very fortunate. And I urge you to take that with you today, to mix that with the joy, the pride, and to be sure that you convey that to what I know will be a loving and grateful patient population that you will serve. Thank you so much for all that you've done. I truly believe, not being a physician myself, that it is a profession, but it's also a calling. Thank you for accepting that call.
Good afternoon. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome our distinguished guests, faculty and administration, friends and family, and of course the class of 2013. When Dr. Mackey informed me that I had the honor of addressing you today, I was humbled for many reasons. I recognized that I had the opportunity to speak to the numerous accolades and achievements bestowed upon the class over the past 4 years. The tremendous amount that we put into the community at large, but most importantly, to the patients that we've been so fortunate to learn from. Although I was extremely grateful for this opportunity, I quickly realized that my final assignment as a medical student was one of the most difficult ones I've ever been assigned to. How could I do justice to the struggles and sacrifices, the sweat and tears, the achievements and accomplishments of such a distinguished group of individuals in only minutes? Over the past 4 years, we've poured ourselves into the endeavor of learning every intricacy, pathological state, and treatment available to the human body. We have dedicated our free time to serve those in the community and abroad by providing them with medical care that we so often take for granted. We helped to implement curricular reform, and we shared our experiences of this journey while mentoring aspiring physicians. We as friends endured some of the most challenging times in our lives by leaning on each other for support, and we rejoiced and celebrated in some of the happiest moments in our lives, only to reaffirm the wise words of Dr. John Fisher, who once told us, there are peaks and troughs to everything in life. The experiences over the past 4 years have left us with more than just gray hairs, or in my case, less hair altogether. It's provided us with perspective and helped us grow as men and women, readying us to become the physicians that our patients need and want. We're entering an era of medicine in which success as a physician will be evaluated by using a defined set of metrics. This evaluation tool is one that we as medical students are all too familiar with. Whether it's the countless standardized exams and evaluations we've had to endure, the reams of journal articles, protocols, and standards of care that we've had to become intimately familiar with, or the publications, research experiences, and accolades we've worked tirelessly to achieve in hopes of landing our dream residency, we've all worked within the boundaries of these metrics. We've been hardwired to guide our decision-making process based on this academic paradigm. I'm here today to remind my colleagues and myself that before we embark on this grueling journey ahead of us, we must work hard to reflect on our own personal goals and aspirations. We must develop our own metrics of success and growth. Writing this address reminded me of a conversation I had with a colleague who's currently a resident at Emory University. Our friendship goes back about 8 years, where I was first introduced to his metric of success as a patient. My friend would recount his experiences of his mother's brave battle against cancer, the time he spent by her side while she received chemotherapy, and the impact it had on him as an aspiring physician. Before his mother passed, she shared with him a piece of career advice that I would like to bestow on my classmates today. At the end of the day, the accolades, awards, and achievements, the titles, they don't mean a thing. All that's important to your patients is what kind of physician you are to them. The knowledge, kindness, and compassion in the treatment you deliver to that patient are the only things of importance at that crucial moment in someone's life. Today, I challenge the class of 2013 to measure our success by the quality of care we provide for each individual patient. As Ernest Hemingway once wrote, there's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. We must be deliberate in our actions while accomplishing our goals. as it is too easy to get caught up in the culture of ambition. Let us strive to become better in everything we do. The reward for our toils at the bedside, laboratory bench, or boardrooms developing policy should be evaluated by the people we become for the sake of our patients. After all, this is the quest we all originally embarked on, and fulfilling this will undoubtedly bring us happiness. Before I leave you today, I wanted to thank everyone who's made this day possible. We've spent an entire week celebrating and recognizing the accomplishments of the class of 2013, when in reality we should be celebrating the husbands and wives who provided daily support to us, the brothers and sisters who reminded us who we are and where we come from, the friends who gave us an outlet to vent and an opportunity to take our mind off the stresses of life, the faculty and administration who guided us with their mentorship and served as role models, and to the parents like my mother and father who sacrificed a tremendous amount to make our dreams come true. Everyone in this room contributed to us becoming better than our former self. In hopes of leaving a legacy of the spirit and character of the class of 2013, we'd like to show our gratitude to everyone who's made this day possible in 2 ways. First, sharing that the virtues of altruism and compassion imparted on us by this institution will carry on after our departure. Class of 2013 will be leaving a gift to the School of Medicine, establishing a grant that will fund student-led community outreach programs for years to come. Second, I ask that any applause I may have received after this speech be redirected towards the people who deserve it more than I. I ask my classmates to stand and recognize everyone here today.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to add my greetings as well to dear colleagues in the class of 2013, your loved ones, and our faculty. It's my privilege now to be able to call several people to the podium to give out some very special awards. I'd like to ask Dr. Buckley to join me here at the podium. And as I'm introducing the first award, ask Dr. Timothy Brian Lumpkin to join us here at the podium. Each year at medical schools across the nation, the Leonard Tao Humanism and Medicine Awards are presented to recognize and honor students and faculty members who demonstrate compassion in the delivery of healthcare services and who bring visibility to the issues related to humanism in medicine. Along with the Gold Humanism Honor Society and the White Coat Ceremony, the Leonard Tao Humanism and Medicine Awards have been initiatives of the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. The Medical College of Georgia is pleased to honor a graduating senior and a member of the faculty with the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award. Timothy Brian Lumpkin is a 2009 magna cum laude graduate of the former Augusta State University with a major in biology and psychology. He matriculated at the Medical College of Georgia in August 2009. From the outset of the clinical curriculum, Brian was noted for the outstanding qualities of an empathic and enthusiastic physician. He impressed all who worked with him as he demonstrated maturity, refined interpersonal skills, and the ability to relate with his patients. He was able to establish trust with them with a calm, reassuring, and comforting manner. In Brian's personal life, he began medical school as the primary caretaker and ultimately power of attorney for an elderly aunt, and cared for her through the time of her death during the first year of medical school. Brian took her to doctor's appointments, managed her finances, shopped for her, as well as making all of her medical, legal, and financial decisions as she lost her ability to do so. Brian fulfilled this amazing commitment while also successfully navigating the first year of the medical curriculum. In recognition of exemplary compassion, competence, and respect in the delivery of humanistic patient care, he was inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. And Brian was honored for his notable academic achievements and accomplishments, with induction into the Alpha Omega Alpha Medical Honor Society. Brian is an intelligent and hardworking medical student, soon to be doctor, and even more importantly, he is a humble and kind man who has the gentle touch of a healer, the listening ear of one who seeks to understand, and the heart of one who is willing to give completely for the well-being of his fellow man. Brian will continue his education at the Internal Medicine Residency Program at Washington University in St. Louis at the Barnes Jewish Hospital. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Brian Lumpkin. And now I'd like to call Dr. Stanley Nauman to the podium. Dr. Nauman is a graduate of the Medical College of Ohio in Toledo. He did his internship at Presbyterian Medical Center in Denver, Colorado, and then served with the National Health Service Corps as the medical director, Tri-County Medical Center in Bulls Gap, Tennessee. Thereafter, he did an internal medicine residency at Mount Carmel Medical Center in Columbus, Ohio, followed by a fellowship in nephrology at The Ohio State University. Dr. Nauman has had an auspicious career with faculty appointments and administrative leadership positions at Ohio State and at the University of Florida campus in Jacksonville, Florida. He came to the Medical College of Georgia in June 2010 and now serves as Professor of Medicine and Director of the Nephrology Fellowship Training Program. His nominator for this award states, "I have never had an attending that fits the criteria for this award more. The level of care and compassion he shows his patients is infectious. He's always smiling and extremely approachable. He spends a lot of time talking to his students and residents, recognizing them as junior colleagues. He doesn't just speak of medicine, but is concerned about our lives and who we are as people. He answers all questions with humility and is encouraging even as he provides useful, formative feedback. He uses storytelling as a technique and forms memorable teaching moments as a result. His approach seems very casual, but the impact is profound. I have never met another physician quite like Dr. Nauman and hope to emulate his approach, his enthusiasm, and his compassion. I'm honored to nominate him for this award. Dr. Nauman, it honors us to name you the faculty recipient of the Leonard Tao Humanism Award. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Stanley Nauman. And now I'd like to call Dr. Leonard Yantz to the podium. Leo, where are you? The Physician's Physician Award is given to a graduating senior medical student who has been selected by classmates as the person the class considers the one individual they would most like to have after appropriate training to care for themselves or a member of their family. This year, the Physician's Physician Award is given to Leo Yantz. Dr. Yantz came to Georgia from Utah, where he gained his GED in Salt Lake City in 1992 and embarked upon a career in the restaurant business. He rose from a minimum wage employee to general manager, and ultimately he became certified as he switched career paths as an emergency medical technician and then earned his paramedic technology certificate in 2003. Leo began his undergraduate degree work in 2005 at the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, Georgia, and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, cum laude, in December 2008. All the while, he maintained his paramedic employment with Grady until 2010. He matriculated at the Medical College of Georgia in 2009, and the subsequent year he began working as an emergency communications specialist with the GRU Medical Center, receiving and coordinating interfacility transfers from regional hospitals for both inpatient and emergency patients. Doing this all the while as both a medical student, husband, and father. Those who've worked with Leo in medical school say that he is professional with a responsible attitude, genuine concern for his patients, inquisitiveness, and an exemplary work ethic. He is conscientious in all of his patient care duties, and he has a refreshingly good-natured style and sense of humor which is infectious. He is uniformly well-loved and is a role model for all. One individual wrote, "Leo has found a way to raise a family and become an excellent physician. His prior life experiences serve to ground him and give what I think are humble roots." A Gold Humanism Honor Society member, Leo matched in emergency medicine at the Maricopa Medical Center in Phoenix, Arizona. In addition, I will share that he has been a very engaged father in the PTA for his children's school and has been involved in other community activities as well. Leo and his wife have 2 daughters and a son and daughter-in-law. Leo, I know that your entire family is very proud, as are we. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Leonard Youngs.
I'd like to invite Chike Aiko on the stage to join me as we present some of the administration who've been so influential over the past 4 years with the presence.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I want to thank the class of 2013 for bestowing upon me this great opportunity to be able to speak about some of the influential administrators here at Georgia Regents University. Throughout our medical career, we all needed the guidance of several of the faculty and staff that are before us today, as far as needing words of wisdom, advice, as well as also needing to know when we're incompetent and when we need to actually go home and do some studying. But there are 4 people in particular that we all feel as though need special thanks. So I would love to invite those 4 people to come to the podium so that we can present a small token of our appreciation. So first, I would like to invite Dr. Peter Buckley, our Dean at the Medical College of Georgia here at Georgia Regents University. Our Vice Dean, Dr. Paul Wallach, here of Academic Affairs. And then also Dr. Andy Albritton, who is our Assistant Dean here of Academic Affairs. And then last but not least, our beloved Dr. Kathleen Mackey, who has been much more than an administrator to all of us. She has been a true mother to us, and we are all greatly appreciative of all the things that she has done for us. And she is also the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs. So if these 4 individuals would like to come up so that we can give them a small token of our appreciation. Thank you all.
This is now time for our interlude, our musical performance, and I guess they're coming forward or getting ready. There we are. Thank you.
So I'll be performing. Can y'all hear me? There we go. So I'll be performing a poem with you all called Keep Calm and Move On. I wasn't sure where to begin, so I'll start at the end and find that, like most things in life, everything comes back around again. So we finished this marathon only to turn around and think, man, that felt like a sprint all along. We raced through this place. Through all-nighters, 3 nights straight, through late-night Friday cadaver dates, through surprisingly convincing standardizations, and not being able to look at those people in grocery stores. Through days that began at 4 a.m. and lasted all night. And you'd be lying if you said you never thought we were going crazy. Because one night, we witnessed tragedy ravage a family. And then turned around and delivered a life that made a family. Through friends turned teachers, turned lovers, turned teachers once more. Through philosophers and world changers, game shakers, cello players, piano, guitar, sitar players, plain old players, singers, break dancers, belly dancers, carpenters, rock climbers, poets, mothers, and fathers, all turned doctors in this place. And upon crossing that finish line, we turned around only to find no one behind us, but no one in front of us. This race was with ourselves the whole time. And we thought that in order to be happy, we had to know everything, do everything, be good at everything. But we found that everything we ever needed to be happy was right here between you and me this whole time. That infinity that separates us is punctuated by the very same swirling atoms that connect us. Our telephone lines through space and time, we weave that tapestry of our humanity in this place. So there is no happy when I get there, because there really is no there, right? Every finish line is followed by another, and life just moves on. So it wasn't about who was behind you or how many people are in front of you. It's about who you place beside you and what moves inside of you. And it wasn't just about winning. It was never just about the win. It was about the endless pursuit of perfection. Because the day we stop trying to be better, we will only become worse. And I know that some people may not understand that dedication and laugh that we love people that we just met. But not everyone can carry that burden, so keep calm and swirl on. The first time I took trauma call, we were harvesting organs, and she was all of 6 years old, beaten and thrown into a tub of cold water, and I remember looking at her bruised and swollen face. I wished to feel nothing, but I felt everything. And my body, my soul felt so heavy to know that this baby knew fear and sorrow in the worst possible way. Anger raged inside of me, burned through all of my layers of sterile barriers, sparks crushed landed on my skin, anger, violence in my fists. I would have never let anything hurt her, not in my arms. And with the OR light beating overhead, I became so acutely aware of all the overwhelming ugliness, and how incredibly small my hands are, and how disappointingly short my arms reach, and how I can barely hug myself. So I left the OR that night, because my stethoscope, my telephone line little too close to that tragedy, and as much as I wanted that infinity to separate me, it just kept bringing me closer and closer, and it burned. Our speed dial to bruised and broken hearts, and I thought, what about ours? What about our hearts? So I found the hospital telephone line, looking for that other telephone line, the one that dangles in every corner, but I was sure mine didn't work. It was dusty, rusted even on the inside, but we all have different reasons for wanting to fly. And whoever your telephone line may be, don't forget it. Don't be too proud to hold on to it, because I've fallen before, and the ground hit me so hard, so much, that it left a mark that even God could see, and I promise that's when I felt his smile. And even though I knew that I was disappointed in you and me and all of humanity and our capacity to be so terribly ugly, and even though I knew her fear and her sorrow, I also knew that if she had lived, she would forgive, as children always do, and for some reason as adults we all kind of do. So remember that this is mortal, but the waves of your actions aren't. So believe in tomorrow and give, and even though people may disappoint you and take from you, still give. And learn a lesson from my baby girl whose heart is so big that even in death she has something to give. Remember to dance. Remember that dancing is good for your body, but dancing like nobody's watching, well, that's Jill Kelly. That's good for your soul. Remember that if you want butterflies, don't go out and try to trap them in that glass bottle. Instead, plant a garden, and your days will be full of them. Remember that if you love, do so deeply and sincerely. Don't be so miserly with it. Nothing worth having comes easy. Remember that there will always be somebody better than you. Remember that there will always be somebody better than you, so be humble, be kind. And remember that in this road trip that is life, there are pit stops, detours, unexpected bathroom breaks, engine fires, and flat tires, all of which can be fixed or changed. So keep calm and move on. In class of 2013, let us take a lesson from the rising and setting of the sun. May your every ending and beginning be a beautiful one. May the
fantastic role model for all of us. He is an inspirational leader. He has written widely and spoken broadly, not just about cancer, but also about healthcare disparities. And he will share with us today his thoughts about where healthcare is going. Dr. Brawley is author of the thought-provoking book, We Do No Harm, A Doctor Breaks Rank About Being Sick in America. A book that explores tough issues about healthcare in America and about our own profession. Dr. Brawley is a member of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention Advisory Committee on Breast Cancer in Young Women, and a former member of the CDC Committee on Breast Cancer and Cervical Early Detection and Control Advisory Committee. He's also served as a member of the Food and Drug Administration Oncological Drug Advisory Committee, and he's chaired the National Institute of Health Consensus Panel on the treatment of sickle cell diseases. It won't surprise you that he is indeed amongst Castle Connell's best doctors in America for cancer. And among a litany of awards, too many to mention today, I'd like to mention just two, one from a home and one from abroad across America. He is, not surprisingly, a Georgia Cancer Coalition scholar, and he also received a remarkable Key to St. Bernard Parish for his work in the U.S. Public Service in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Please join me in welcoming a remarkable human being, a remarkable leader, a role model, and a patient advocate, Dr. Otis Brawley.
Thank you very much, Dean. As you can tell, my mother writes the introductions. It's Dean Buckley, Provost Kaufman, Provost Emeritus Ellison, distinguished faculty, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a true privilege to be here today to share this day with you. My congratulations to the class of 2013. This whole week marks a success, a dream, overcoming a great challenge, and you now face more challenges. I've gotten to know some of you. I've been here perhaps a half dozen times over the last several years, gotten to talk to some of you in the class, and let me tell you, I am optimistic that you can overcome those challenges. Ronnie Zeiton, your wisdom is far greater than most people of your age, and indeed I'm going to borrow your speech for future graduation talks I have to give. I envy you in the class of 2013 because you have an attitude, you have a focus on some of the right things in medicine. You also come into medicine at a time when we can actually do a lot of very positive things for our patients. You are literate scientifically in the words of molecular biology, pharmacology, medicine, but also sociology and epidemiology. You are far more gifted than people who graduated medical school a quarter century ago, as I did and many of your faculty members did. I commend you for your persistence. I also ask you to remember where you came from and to remember that you did not get here alone. You had supportive family, you had supportive mentors, and mentors are so important. Mentors can be grade school teachers, they can be full professors at major universities and other than the Medical College of Georgia, but they can also be high school custodians. They can be police officers. They can be even friends who stick their hand out, help you, give you guidance, and give you encouragement. Remember your mentors. You owe it to your mentors to mentor future generations. This will be one of your challenges. There are other challenges. You enter a noble profession, a profession that I and your faculty members love, a profession that we hope you learn to love. Many of you already have learned to love it. You enter a profession that's at a crossroads. What greater calling than to heal? Our calling is to heal. Our calling is to prevent disease. Our calling is also to teach. Carry a sacred title, that being doctor. People will seek your help, seek your advice. You will see humans at their most vulnerable time. You will see patients often at the point of the greatest challenge of their life. You will see courage, you will see grace, you will see dignity. Draw power from it. Light a fire in your belly because of it. Learn from your patience. Always remember that the greatest honor one human being can give to another is to say, "Can you help me?" And the greatest privilege is to give that help. You will be involved in health education, educating patients, educating communities. Indeed, I think that's the wonderful thing about your future, because my generation has not done health promotion and disease prevention enough. I worry in the past few years we have focused too much on sick care and not health care. We wait for the person to get sick to take care of them and not try to do something beforehand to prevent disease. Disease prevention must become a greater focus in medicine, and I think that you are prepared to do it. Now, while I say that we haven't focused on disease prevention in my generation, we have, to a certain extent, we've had certain successes. Pardon me, I'm an epidemiologist and a medical oncologist. I got to give you a few numbers now. In 1965, 55% of American men smoked cigarettes, 35% of women. That was the year after Luther Terry put the warning on the cigarette package and published his marvelous pronouncement that smoking causes lung cancer. Today, the average in the United States has gone down to 19%. That's still too much. In certain states, such as West Virginia, Missouri, and Kentucky, it's close to 30%. But in states like California and Utah, it's at about 9%. We're at 19% here in Georgia. We're 32nd among states. We can do better in prevention in terms of tobacco control. At the same time, a few things have gotten worse. In 1970, 15% of us were obese. Today, 35% of adults are obese. And I speak of obesity and not the condition known as overweight because of my conflict of interest. 4% of children were obese in 1970. 4% of children aged 6 to 11, and today it's 20%. And research has shown that the combination of obesity and interesting malnutrition called high caloric intake and lack of physical activity. It's a three-legged stool. It's obesity, high caloric intake, and lack of physical activity. Those three cause diabetes, heart disease, orthopedic injury, and they cause 12 cancers. The future, because of this lack of prevention, is going to cause a tsunami of chronic disease. Obesity in the next decade or two will become the leading cause of preventable death, surpassing tobacco. And this trend must be stopped. This will be your challenge, ladies and gentlemen. You see the importance of health education and the appreciation of health behaviors. Medicine is at another crossroads. Healthcare costs, which are going to climb because of that obesity problem, are already threatening the very foundation of the United States, not just the U.S. economy, but the very foundation of the United States. Today, we spend $2.6 trillion on health care. $1 trillion is a big number. A million seconds ago was Wednesday of last week. 1 billion seconds ago was the summer of 1974, about the time Richard Nixon resigned. 1 trillion seconds ago was 30,000 years before Christ. We spent $2.6 trillion on health care last year. We spent $1.1 trillion on food at a time when we spent $2.6 trillion on health care. If America's healthcare economy were its own country, it would be the 5th largest economy in the world. Indeed, we spent $2.6 trillion on healthcare, and they spent $2.5 trillion on everything in France last year. We spend a lot of money on healthcare in this country. 18 cents out of every dollar spent. It's growing. If you look over the last 20 years, and the trend continues, it'll be 25 cents out of every dollar by 2025 and 30 cents out of every dollar by shortly after 2030. We will have health care reform, or else our economy is going to crash around us. We cannot afford 25 cents out of every dollar spent on health care. This will be your challenge. Today we spend $8,400 for every man, woman, and child on health care. At the same time, there are huge disparities in the United States. There are those who consume too much and often are harmed by that. There are those who consume too little and are often harmed by that. More than 80,000 Americans die every year because of the lack of health care. How can we provide adequate health care to all is one of the most important challenges that we will face. As humans committed to saving lives, as humans committed to saving human lives, this is your challenge, this is our challenge. Healthcare is really a human right. Another challenge for you is going to be growth of medical knowledge. Medicine is so complicated, no one person can master everything, but you're going to have to grow. It's already been talked about. You're going to have to learn more and more over the years. You cannot stay stagnant. Our understanding of disease today is amazing. Our ability to treat disease is also amazing. You know, I graduated from medical school 27 years ago. That was at a time when CT scanners were just coming into hospitals. Can you believe that? We didn't have MRI scanners when I graduated from medical school. I'm that old. When I was a third-year medical student, we started calling the disease AIDS. We didn't have patients with that disease when I was a first-year medical student. When I finished my residency, the life expectancy of an AIDS patient was less than a year after diagnosis. We have come a long way. When I was a medical student, we had one calcium channel blocker, verapamil. The only calcium-lowering drug we had was niacin. Some of these young folks think I actually grew up in the Stone Age. Value science. Value the scientific method. Value learning. Realize that things will change and evolve. Too many of us in middle age fall into a complacency. We're satisfied with being ignorant sometimes. We are satisfied with what we know, and we don't want to grow, we don't want to learn, we're unable to question. We are unable to question. Always remember that medical knowledge can be separated into what we know, what we don't know, and what we believe. A Jesuit priest who was a mentor of mine in high school
actually told me when I went to medical school, always remember that doctors tend to confuse what they believe with what they know. And that's been true. Always, always question what you know. Remember what we call research? It's called research because you have to keep going back, searching over and over for the truth. You have to keep going back to ask questions. Is what I believe to be true, is what I believe to be true, really true? Always question what you know more than you question anything else, as a matter of fact. Now, the naysayers talk about rationing of medicine. We need to talk about the rational use of medicine. They got the stem of the word right. It's not rationing of medicine that we need to worry about. It's rational medicine. It's evidence-based medicine. It's realizing that the evidence will evolve. It's supporting science and supporting research so that the evidence actually will evolve. Look for evidence-based medicine. Practice orthodoxy. Practice the science. Some of us old folks in medicine don't practice evidence-based medicine. We practice what I prefer to call faith-based medicine. It's the belief that this drug has got to work, the hell with what the science is, the belief that this procedure is going to work. Value science and value the scientific method, value learning. Santayana once said, those who don't appreciate history are destined to repeat it. Keep in mind that we've documented now through good science that my generation has overdone it when it comes to doing hysterectomies, to doing C-sections, to doing endarterectomies, to doing coronary artery bypasses. Tolerate those who ask questions, tolerate those who challenge. The history of medicine is riddled with mistakes that we've made because we got complacent and stuck in tradition. The Halsted mastectomy, going into my own field of oncology, the Halsted mastectomy was done from 1903 well into the 1980s because Dr. Halsted was from Hopkins and he said this is how you do the operation. People who questioned it in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s sometimes even lost their job for questioning it. Fortunately, some brave surgeons did the right studies, and today we know that that operation was just far too morbid, that simply removing the tumor and irradiating the breast is equivalent to a Halsted mastectomy. In my own career, we did adjuvant bone marrow transplant for breast cancer. The parents out there don't need to know what it is, but just realize we did it for 20 years despite the fact we had no science to show it works. And when the science finally showed it didn't work, 220 bone marrow transplant centers in the United States closed within 6 months in 1999. And 65,000 women had gotten that treatment in the 1990s, all without the science because we were sure it worked. We've made mistakes with postmenopausal hormone therapy. Today, we actually question the legitimacy of our rush to screen and treat prostate cancer over the last 20 years. We're starting to realize that we jumped the gun. We weren't orthodox. We didn't do the science first. You, my friends, I suspect, are actually going to be advocates for the science and advocates for actually developing the evidence. By the way, today, we're evolving so much in the cancer diet. Our definitions of cancer, which were rooted by the pathologists of Kyle in the 1850s, are actually changing. Instead of a morphologic, this is what cancer looks like under the microscope, we're moving to a genomic definition of cancer. We're even finding some of the people that we thought had cancer 10, 15, 20 years ago may not have. Science is evolving. Realize that science evolves, follow it. In your practice, you're going to get involved with clinical pathways. You're going to be involved with teams, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, social workers. Work hard to inspire them. Work hard to encourage them to learn, to encourage them to question, to encourage them to challenge. I leave you by reminding you that this is a solemn profession with an awesome responsibility. Always aim to serve your fellow man. It is a profession. The definition of a profession is a group of individuals who police themselves and who put the well-being of their patients or clients above their own well-being. Always remember that this is a profession. It's a profession where we aim to prevent disease, a profession where we aim to heal. It's a profession where we aim to teach. We teach each other, we teach the public, we teach our patients. Keep an open mind, always appreciate science, always distinguish what you know, what you don't know, and what you believe. Remember that physicians sometimes confuse what they know with what they believe, and always focus on that. Always question. Always question. You probably won't remember that I spoke at your hooding ceremony 27 years from now, but I can remember Seymour Glagov spoke at mine. He was one of the people who figured out about cholesterol sticking in the arteries and stuff. Yeah, that kind of stuff happened back when I was in medical school too. He said, always remember that medicine is a spiral staircase. And if you're successful in medicine, you're always going to end up looking down and finding yourself over the exact same spot. But if you're successful, you're at a higher rung of the spiral staircase. Try to focus on science. Try to always learn. Don't be complacent with your current knowledge. Some of the worst doctors practice the best medicine of the year that they graduate from residency. 20 years later. Always evolve, always focus, always study, always learn. I'm really jealous of you guys because you're coming to medicine at a time where we have so many opportunities, so much understanding of disease and abilities to treat that simply were not available even 10 years ago. It's actually a great time to be in medicine, and I'm actually very optimistic because having talked to some of you guys, having hung out with you, you guys are going into this for the right reasons, and I really appreciate it. Dean, thank you for the opportunity to give this talk. This is a true honor. And again, congratulations, guys.
As a token of our appreciation for the inspirational and motivational words, I'd like to present Dr. Bravo with a token of our appreciation.
Well, I made it, didn't I? As a medical historian in residence of the Georgia Regents University, it is my honor and privilege to present a brief history, brief I said, of the wearing of the academic regalia and the hooding ceremony of the Medical College of Georgia. The Georgia Research University Medical College of Georgia was founded in 1828, 185 years ago, with the first graduation in 1833, but the custom of wearing caps and gowns was not begun until the 1899 commencement. Long black Oxford gowns and mortarboard caps were worn by both students and faculty at that time. In 1933, following the formation of the University System of Georgia, the name of Medical College became the University of Georgia School of Medicine. And at this time, a traditional hood was worn with the University of Georgia colors of red and black, and with the herbal green to trim with medicine. The cap was immortable type, and either a black or a green tassel. In 1972, the regalia was completely redesigned to depict the history of MCG. The cap was changed to a soft Cambridge style. In 1998, the hood was modified to conform to national academic standards. In 2013, which I think is today, the regalia was modified to indicate the consolidation of Augusta State University and the Georgia Health Science University, forming Georgia Regents University. This regalia is described in the commencement program, and I encourage you to read this description. Now, what about the history of the hooding ceremony? Prior to 1951, MCG gave only MD degrees, with the exception of degrees in public health from 1924 to 1932. Hooding was done at the time the graduates walked across the stage to receive their diploma. But with the establishment of other schools and degrees and the increase in the number of graduates, this was discontinued, and the graduates wore their hoods in the procession. The Medical College of Georgia, class of 1977, expressed a desire to have a hooding ceremony separate from the graduation. It is a coincidence that the president of the Medical College of Georgia Alumni Association, who will speak to you today, was a member of that class, Dr. Richwine. The first ceremony was held at the Thunderbird Inn, now the GRU Alumni Center. At the time they had their senior banquet, only graduates, their spouses, and a few select faculty attended. It was a big success, however, and the class of 1978 decided to continue the ceremony in a more formal way with a speaker. I was honored by delivering the address on this occasion, which was held at the Westlake Country Club. This, my friend, was 35 years ago. How wonderful to be here today. Thank you, Dr. Kathy Matthew and Dr. Peter Butler for allowing me to be here. The ceremony continued to grow in significance as well as size, and it was decided to have a formal afternoon ceremony the day before graduation and to invite all faculty, parents, other relatives, and friends. The numbers attended outgrew previous locations, including the beautiful First Baptist Church, where it was held for a number of years before being moved to the Bell Auditorium in 1984. The program since then has been similar in format to the one today. Now, I have a few concluding remarks from my heart to the members of the class of 213. As the hood is placed on your shoulders, be always reminded of the great tradition of the physician. May you experience the thrill, the joy, and satisfaction that come from service to humanity. The Medical College of Georgia and the Georgia Regents University are proud of you and will always be with you wherever your journey leads. What a privilege it is for me to say, on behalf of our wonderful faculty, best wishes to each of you, the class of 2013.
Next time you can talk a little longer if you want to, okay?
Just gave me 5 minutes.
The class of 2013 has been a source of pleasure, pride, and great joy to me. I'm going to get tearful, I can feel it, come on. And to other members of the faculty at the Medical College of Georgia. These soon-to-be physicians have taught me much and enriched my life both personally and professionally these past 4 years. They've achieved many of their professional goals, and they've developed still more goals to strive for in the next stage of their careers. They've given unselfishly of their time and their love to others less fortunate. They have grown close to one another in times of adversity and in times of celebration. They have learned more than they could have imagined possible. Science, medicine, listening and speaking, the art of caring and healing. They have grown beautifully as human beings. I know you're very proud of your loved ones. As a surrogate mother these past 4 years, I've loved them too, so it's with mixed emotions that we send them on their way. I now present for Hooding, with the regalia of Doctor of Medicine, the members of the Medical College of Georgia, class of 2013. Ahmed. Craig Chike Ako. James Sly Ashford. Sarah Elizabeth Atwater. Amanda Karina Barrett. John Ryan Barrett. Matthew Dean Belcher. Dimple Babu Bapta. Michael Jason Bishop. Daniel Bowen IV. Desiree Dana Brooks. Corey A. Bryan. Michael Ray Bykowski. Michael Alexander Callender. Michael B. Carter. Robert Glenn Carter Jr. Candace Nadia Castellino. Kristen Amy Chicola. Patrick Bailey Chisholm. Heather Mackenzie Choate. Peter Sung Chan. Andrea Kelsey Corin. Jane Arden Sutterfield Conway. Nicholas Hamilton Culpepper. Carolyn Ann Curtis. Emily Whitmer DeGolian. Nerlene Kaur Dariwal. Ashley Lauren Dickinson. Ashley Nicole Dodd. Adam Michael Donnelly. Etora Bassi Edet. Ashley Renee Elam. Amy Elizabeth Bear Ellington. Stephen Merle Elmore. Aaron Cecil Emmons. Scott Irwood. Nassim Shams Estigamat. Chuan Francis Sand. Clifton Cartwright Fay, Jr. Laura Stubbs Fay. Kelsey Jacqueline Fincham. Joshua Mark Flato. Benjamin Robert Ford. Michelle Camille Forrester. Monica Hokinson Fortson. Cody Scott Freeman. Thomas Franklin Freeman. Erin Elizabeth Bynum. James Kenneth Gable. Preeti Srinivasan Ganapathy. Joseph Richard Garcia. Brian Curtis Gardner. Evan Fuller Garner. Bintu Gassama. Thomas Heron Getru. Andrew Frank Glass. Masa Golabi. Arvin M. Lamabdo. Sarah Elizabeth Goolsby. Eric Russell Gordon. Patrick Dean Grace. Jessica O'Neill Green. Charles Kevin Grigsby. Nisha Gupta. Randy Hahn. Laura Harrison. Angela Denise Haskins. Zihu He. John Andrew Henderson. Richard Avery Herman Jr. Caitlin Anise Hester. Jacob Harvey Holly III. Christopher Gillen Homer. Christina Huan. Lisa Elizabeth Hunt. Caitlin Rebecca Ike. Whitney Wellborn Irwin. Julie Lynn Jacobs. Rena Ramesh Kaguria. Praful Kaushik. Pyle Vasant Kenya. Justin Christopher Kennan. Chison Kim. Nathan William Kincaid. Russell Connolly Kirks Jr. LaFontaine. Catherine Mills Lanning. Chad Allen Lee. Gorby Leon. Austin John Lewis. Krista Michelle Limhane. Jedediah Coulter Litzy. Jessica Helen Litzy. Joe Henry Livingston IV. Joy Makia Livingston. Timothy Brian Lumpkin. Ashley Elizabeth Mazo. Scott Christopher McCorvey. Jared Stewart McKinnon. Tyler John McKinnon. Abir Mayman. Jeffrey Thomas Mills. John Bradley Morris Jr. Nathaniel Kenneth Mosley. Zorana Mirsic. Leo Madubi. Diana Grace Muro. Renee Alyssa Mussel. Susan Lucini. Sapita Megodi Nababi. Nadeau. Coy Den Nguyen. Kiet T. Nguyen. Na Min Nguyen. Rachel Hannah Nix. Chinoyne Odor.
William Brimson Orr. Jonathan Lance Overcash. Catherine Quinwan Park. Nehal Ajit Patel. Sagar Ratin Patel. Jonathan Howard Payne. Joseph Richard Pelly, Jr. Alejandro Peña, Jr.
Adam Joseph Pettigrew. Rebecca Daly Pierce. Zara Parani. Radhika Prabhakar. Tequila LaShawn Pryor. Adam Pierzak. Waleed Radwan. Chadrukan Rajendra. Ashwarya Gutla Reddy. Alicia Roberts Register. Vanessa Nicole Richardson. Cedra Rodriguez. Michelle Welch Rome. Jared White Rouse. Gary Michael Schwartz. Nandini Setia. Amit Deepak Shaw. Shubham Widad Chuha. Aisha Khan Shakir. Sean Sharif. Rajat Singh. Arpa Singhal. Blake Robert Smith. Devin Michael Smith. Luke Daniel Smith. Adam Derek Smitherman. Benjamin Lev Solomon. Harsh Soni. Devin Allen Stevens. Charles Jacob Stoutenmeyer. Jeffrey Allen Strelzik. Fiji Sundaram. Gopika Siraj. Brian Nicholas Swilly. Maneshnesh Mahajan Tades. Alexander James Tatum. Lee Thompson. Derek Lieberman Umansky. Dennis Van Loozen. Chelsea Meredith Venditti. Angela Wanyan Lang. Catherine Alice Warner. Matthew Roberts West. Andrew Wesley White. Robert Dayton Williams. Tierra Alyssa Williams. Aaron David Wynn. Michael Yang. Leonard Allen Youngs. Bilal Khan Yousafzai. Ronnie Henry Zion. Wanwusan Mareska Zanetti. Andy Francis Zhu.
Good afternoon. My name is Sam Richwine. I'm from Gainesville, Georgia. I am certainly no public speaker. I am the current president of the Alumni Association for the Medical College of Georgia. It's my honor and pleasure to represent the Alumni Association today. We want to congratulate each of you on receiving your hooding today in preparation to receive your degree tomorrow. We send you our best wishes for success in your career as well as your personal endeavors. My history, as you can tell from the program, dates back as a 1977 graduate of the Medical College of Georgia. I stuck around for an additional 5 years doing general surgery, and because I was a slow learner, I spent another 2.5 years doing plastic surgery before my mother-in-law told me I got my first real job. I'm glad Dr. Ellison preceded me because, quite frankly, I did not remember a hooding ceremony for the class of '77. I do remember the old Thunderbird Inn, though. sure it was a riotous time and we had a great time. I do, however, remember a different hooding ceremony, this one from my daughter Betsy in 2006 when she received her hood and then proceeded to receive her diploma from the medical college. I'd be neglecting my good daddy duties if I didn't at least mention if someone in the crowd needs a good dermatologist in the Marietta Canton office. Let me know. I know a very good one, by the way. I'm here today to induct you, the class of 2013, into the Alumni Association. The Alumni Association was established in 1891, and its mission is to support the interests of the Medical College of Georgia while promoting loyalty and fellowship among the alumni. The way I see it, we actually have two other goals. One is to support our medical students, and believe me, the alumni consider you our medical students in some small way so that we have made life better for you during your time in Augusta at the medical college. Our other goal is to support MCG, the institution, so that we can see that it is allowed to give you what we consider the best medical education we can provide for you. Our activities that the Alumni Association is responsible for are scholarships. We have activities for each medical school class, starting with the freshman brunch and then concluding with the hooding ceremony today. We have faculty recognition and alumni awards, professional activities, and loyalty. We have regional dinner meetings, and if you get a chance to attend one, please go. CME events and the wonderful alumni weekend which we have every spring. As you can see, our organization is dedicated to fulfilling its mission, but we are always ready to assist you in any way possible. The Office of Alumni Affairs can be reached here on campus. It's now my esteemed privilege on behalf of the MCG Alumni Association to induct you, the class of 2013, into the Alumni Association. It is often said there is no free ride. Well, for one time, that myth is wrong. There are no membership dues for the first year. But please remember us and visit our website and our Facebook page often. And please ensure us that when you leave, you'll let us have your postal address and your email address as you move on to your residency training. We know that each of you will be in an outstanding position to represent MCG well. You will need to stay engaged with the medical college to ensure that each of our students continues to receive superior training. You will need in some way to pay it forward. Your profession needs you to become engaged in organized medicine both at a national and a state level, and also within your specialty societies, to provide the kind of leadership that the many challenges of medicine will face in years to come. Again, I congratulate each of you upon achieving one of the most outstanding goals of your life. Good luck.
Dear colleagues in the class of 2013, I now have the privilege of leading you in the Hippocratic Oath, which you can conveniently find on page 5 in your booklets. Doctors, will you please stand? Please read along with me. I do solemnly swear, by whatever I hold most sacred, that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members, that I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor, that into whatsoever home I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick and the well, to the utmost of my power, and that I will hold myself aloof from wrong and from corruption and from the tempting of others to vice, that I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patients and the prevention of disease, and will give no drugs and perform no operation for a criminal purpose, and far less suggest such a thing, that whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things I do promise, and in proportion as I am faithful to this oath, may happiness and good repute be ever mine, the opposite if I shall be forsworn. Congratulations. Would you please be seated?
we're on the home stretch. Although I do have to tell you, I have prepared a really wonderful 45-minute presentation. Madam Provost? No, okay, all right, okay, not this time. Our medical school is 185 years this year. And this is a school that has a terrific reputation as training great doctors. We are graduating a wonderful class of great doctors, and that could not occur without a dedicated, superlative faculty. So I would like you all to acknowledge our faculty behind us. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. After Reverend Field's closing remarks, we will adjourn. We will walk out as we came in proudly with our new colleagues. And then we will, you are all extremely welcome to the old medical college, where we will continue both tradition as well as celebration. And so please do join us all with all your families afterwards. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the sermon. Reverend Field.
On this day in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson proclaims the first Mother's Day holiday, so don't forget Sunday. On this date in 1973, future Hall of Famer Johnny Bench hits 3 home runs off future Hall of Famer Steve Carlton. And on this date in 1983, my oldest nephew Lucas was born. On this date, as your careers begin, be thankful your mother gave birth to you, because we are. Swing for the fences against all foes. And as you leave in procession, acknowledge the family ties surrounding you with deep love here today. Go in peace.